they were targeted, and they were arrested, and they were put in jail or labor camps. And they were under enormous persecution. We had thousands and thousands. We had people that never came out from those communist prisons. We had people that were so wounded that when they came out and when they explained to the Western world the depth of communist terror, even the United States Senate was shocked when they saw the wounds on the body of Richard Wurmbrand.
That's the person I wanted to ask you about. So you knew him personally, Richard Wurmbrand, and then there was Traian Dors, which was a Romanian poet. Again, these were faithful men of God who were persecuted for their faith during communism. Talk to us a little about that.
Well, if we speak about Richard Wurmbrand,
right,
he was a native Jew.
Mm-hmm.
In his early age, he embraced the communist Marxist ideology. He was even taken to Moscow to be indoctrinated and become a communist leader. In the process, something happened. And Richard Wurmbrand met Christ, and his life was changed.
Right.
He joined the Lutheran Church of Romania.
He was a Lutheran priest, yes.
And he became a Lutheran priest.
Yeah.
And when the communists came, he already knew the communist lifestyle, ideology, and lack of integrity from within. So he openly confronted the communists. He was arrested. He was placed in jail. And according to his way of recording and telling his life in prison, said, I was twice persecuted. First of all, when they come and say, all those who are Jew, a step forward. As a faithful Jew, I stepped forward. And I was beaten up as a Jew. Then said back into the line, all those who are Christians step forward. And I stepped forward as a Christian.
Wow.
And I was beaten as a Christian.
Mm-hmm.
So with his style, he said, I endured twice as much persecution because I was a Jew and I was a Christian.
Right. Yeah. So he captured a lot of these stories in his book, Torture for Christ, which is certainly a book that we recommend. So talk about your story in this context. So you were born in the 1950s in a village of Burzuk, the great metropolis, and then you grew up in this environment. On one side, in the village church, there was a revival. There were people who were faithful to God based upon their experience in the war. On the other side, within the national politics or the national denominational level, there were some people who were betraying the faith, and then some people who were being faithful. Tell us your story. You ended up going to the university in Bucharest, which was pretty remarkable for a village boy from the other side of the country. Tell us how that went about.
The first memory I have is about my oldest brother who came back from school. And in school, he was asked to come home and persuade our father to renounce the land and willingly to go and offer his land for the agricultural cooperative. He came home and he told my dad what the school is asking, under the threat that if our father is not giving the land, he would be expelled from school.
Wow.
So I do remember my dad and my mom looking at their son, the firstborn, under this pressure to persuade his parents to renounce their property. They were not willing to do that. So my oldest brother went back to school and he was under more pressure. He came home and caught between the school pressure and the family standing. It was a very critical time. So my parents, with tears in their eyes, they were telling their firstborn child, this is not right. This is something evil.
Right.
We should not give in to this evil. Well, things move on.
But this was a common practice under communism.
Oh, yes.
Because we saw it in the Soviet Union, we saw it in Maoist China, where brother was turned against brother, husband against wife, son against parents, where they were really made to choose, are you more loyal to the state or are you more loyal to the family? And the idea was you ought to be more loyal to the state, wasn't it?
Yes, and after the initial stage, when a small number of people gave into that to willingly go and renounce their property, they came with the heavy heels.
Right.
And literally they crushed the village.
Yeah.
They went from house to house, and they put the people under the given fact that they took everything from them.
Yeah.
And there were fraud signatures that people would sign to give up their properties. Some people under that pressure lost their mental
For sure.
balance. They had nervous breakdown. Some people went as far as to commit suicide. It was the kind of terror because there was another element into that. Those that were more vigorous in their resistance, they were exposed to another form of terror. Namely, at night, the communist police came with those black vans, Duba.
Right.
And they came late at night with the head-on lights on the house. And communist police with masks will jump out of that car, burst into the house, grab the husband of the house in his night clothes,
Yeah.
throw that person into the black van, and they will disappear. And nobody would ever hear what happened to that person. So there was the night terror for those who oppose entering into this agricultural cooperative. So with that, the villages of Romania, the communities of Romania, were exposed to the night terror. When the people heard the noise of a car engine at night, they were having the nightmare of their life.
Yes. Terrible times.
So let's go back to the pastor and pastors.
Yeah.
Those that were in the communist prisons, in the laborers' camp, some of them never compromised. Others were broken there. Those who never compromised, most of them died in the communist jail. Some of them survived. Those that survive are our heroes.